There was so much to talk about from last night's game. Let's get to the news portion of the program, all right, guys? Multiple media outlets reporting Friday afternoon that the NBA will not be suspending Kevin Love for leaving the court during the Tristan Thompson and Draymond Green altercation. However, it is unknown at this time whether there will be any sort of fine or suspension for Tristan Thompson, who was ejected from the game for the flagrant foul 2 on Sean Livingston. But clearly, guys, he also made contact with Draymond Green's face. 3D, should there be a suspension for the Cavs starting center for Game 2?
No, it should not. I know it looked kind of messy, and Smitty and I were talking about it. What Tristan Thompson was trying to do, we get. Obviously, you're not trying to hurt Sean Livingston with the elbow there. And then, obviously, Draymond Green said something to escalate that. And Tristan, once you get ejected, you have to leave the court in a timely manner. So much of a timely manner, so I don't think it gets suspended, Smitty.
You know, I'm with you, 3D, and obviously the rules is, you know, up connecting of the head, but I don't know if it says with the basketball.
Right,
so,
right.
I know it was a little shove with the ball into the face of Draymond Green, but I don't think it should be a ejection for Tristan Thompson.
Okay, either way, whether he is suspended or not, does it concern you, though, of the mental state of where the Cavs are right now? Obviously, the whole J.R. Smith situation, but for Tristan to put it in the hands of the league to determine whether he can play or not, that's got to be concerning.
Well, it's concerning for all the coaches and fans and players involved. On either side, you don't want you guys to lose their cool. And obviously, but that's the game of basketball. And when you're talking about two players and two teams that played 4 times for all the marbles, it is hard to control your emotions, and you have to. And fortunately for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and we don't know yet, but hopefully he's not suspended and he'll get a chance to play in Game 2.
Sometimes you just got to turn your back on him and walk away, though.
You have to.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, let's get more from the Warriors practice facility, where Kristen Ledlow is updating us as we have 48 hours to contemplate what happened and to get ready for Game 2.
I'm at the Warriors practice facility with the team holding a 1-0 lead over the Cavaliers in the NBA Finals after an overtime win on Thursday night. And while both teams have been impacted by injury, Andre Iguodala hasn't seen the floor since Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. Coach Steve Kerr said today that he's considered doubtful for Game 2, but that he was at the practice facility and he is working towards a return. As for Klay Thompson, he had this to say on a scary leg injury early in Game 1.
It's sore, but it's nothing too bad. It's less sore than it was last night, so that's a great sign. And I expect it to heal up even more by tonight, hopefully. I think I've had a high pain tolerance since I've been a kid. And at this point in the year, everyone's going to be a little banged up. So you got to play through it. And you can be sore going into the summertime. That's how I look at it.
Clay's just a physical specimen. I mean, it's just incredible. The resilience, the stamina, you know, to play both ends night after night, 40-plus minutes in the playoffs. He's a machine.
Meanwhile, on the Cavaliers side, Coach Ty Lue also addressed the media, and he had this to say on the team's collective mindset moving forward.
Listen, we're not broken, all right? We lost a game. You got to win 4 in this series. We understand that. And it was a tough game for us. You know, we played well enough to win, but we didn't. So now we got to move on. So the guys' confidence are not shaken. We see what we need to do and how we need to perform to win. So we have the blueprint, so now we got to execute at a higher level.
All right, that's Kristen Ludlow reporting for us at the Warriors practice facility. Back with 3D and Smitty. Guys, the news here that we're looking at, Andre Iguodala, doubtful, didn't play in Game 1. What about Klay Thompson, who still managed to play 46 minutes, shoot 50% from the floor, hit 5 threes, came out with what the team called a knee injury, may now be down to his ankle. 3D, what's your take on how he looked from your standpoint, and if you think it will be a factor the rest of the way?
Well, I think having 2 days off really helps that sore ankle, whatever the left leg is. But to hear him say that I have a high threshold for pain, knowing he's going to be on the floor, Smitty, only thing I question for Game 2 is how can he move laterally? Can he go side to side to be able to play the defense we know he can play, because he is the on-ball best defender on that team since Iguodala's out. Offensively, he's going to be fine because he's catching and shooting. So you saw in the fourth quarter, he was able to find his spots, get the shot off, and knock down shots. So defensively is the only concern I have.
Yeah, and 3D, when it happened, I just scared for any player. I mean, saw Klay Thompson get it caught, and obviously glad he got it out of there before it was stuck and planted. But I was so relieved to see him come back to get a chance to play. So hopefully him everybody's a little banged up, and obviously you said he should be better because of the 2 days rest. I think he'll be okay. But 3D said it best: laterally and coming down. That's the one thing you're concerned about for Klay Thompson.
And he's got to guard a guy who all he did was score 51 points in game one. Guys, LeBron James did something that, quite frankly, we had never seen before. And Steve Kerr was talking about this last night. Steve Kerr played with Michael Jordan and talking about the level at which LeBron James is doing what he is doing. Maybe we had never seen something like this before.
Great performance. I think he did everything he could to, will our team to win. He's been doing it all season. You've seen it all season, Dave, of, playing 82 games, throughout the course of the playoffs, making big shots, game-winning shots. And this right here is just a testament to what he's been doing all year. And he puts in the work. He takes care of his body. He's always doing the right thing. So last night was no different, scoring 51 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and just showing his team on the biggest stage of how you have to play to beat this team. And he did a great job of that.
Can he play any better than that?
I hope so.
You know what, Jared? He has to. As much as we talk about role players playing better at home than on the road, was LeBron James' role to be Superman, to be Hercules, and that's what he's been doing since the beginning of these playoffs, showing his team, showing his franchise that it's my role every night to play at a level that nobody's never seen before. Because if he doesn't, there's no way they win. There's no way they win. So he has to be that role, Smitty, of being superstar to lead the way.
Well, I think to 3D's point, he has to do everything. The one area, yes, we're adding to a guy that was Superman. I would love 3D for him to just say, hey, I got to score, but also come out there and get about 15 rebounds to go with it, which is, unfortunately, asking him to do that much for his team.
How can LeBron be better, and what the guys around him need to do will be discussed later in the program.